Hello and welcome. Thank you for stopping by the channel. My name is Rokusho, and this is Between Two Mics, where we go ahead and interview different people from the Grand Cross community and see what their opinions are and get to know them a little bit better and hopefully help out the rest of the community. And for today's guest, we have the GOAT himself, Ainz Grand Cross, with us today.
Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you so much. And GOAT recognizes GOAT, so same goes to you, my friend.
Thank you. I really appreciate you being a guest on here. So let's start it off with a nice hard question for you. Ainz, what is your favorite food to eat, like, out of anything?
Okay, we're starting with the difficult questions already. But to me, it's quite a simple answer. I do enjoy a shawarma every now and then if I feel like I did a good job this week. That is what I would reward myself. So yeah, and I'm making myself hungry as well because I didn't have much to eat today. But I'm hungry for success, so it's okay. I'm not craving I'm craving success right now, and I'm sure you are as well.
And that's something that you can never get full of, right?
No, you can't.
All right, jumping into a more serious topic now. What got you started into the game, and what's your favorite part of the game?
Okay, I need to think a bit with this one because I started this game on the Japanese version, and I actually saw my first introduction to this game was through a local here where I live. He posted a screenshot of the Japanese version on his Instagram, and I was like, okay, that actually looks pretty cool. And I have a Japanese Apple account because I used to play Dokkan a lot, still do, by the way. And I don't know, the minute I installed it, I was attached. I was very, very attached. I just enjoyed how the game functions. I enjoyed the IP as well because I was riding high off of the Seven Deadly Sins wave, the manga one in particular, not the anime one, of course. That's a disaster. That's a separate topic on its own.
We try not to talk about the anime version, right?
We try not to talk about that one. But my favorite part of the game is how, like, the way the game itself runs and operates. I know that's not going to change in the sense that I know what to expect when I play this game in terms of how it works. Like, for example, a lot of games don't have the system where you get a weekly income of the currency. Like, for example, PvP gives you a weekly amount of gems based on your performance, whether that's in gold or champ 1, you get gems. And that is something that not a lot of games do as well as Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross. Like Dokkan, for example, it's the best example really because it's a game that's well known. It doesn't really have a weekly income of gems like Grand Cross has. So in Grand Cross, you always have a chance to get a unit or even just save up for anything you want to pull on. And yeah, I mean, that aside, the character releases as well. I'm always excited for whatever they come up next, even if it's a dead character like the Thona we just got recently. I just get excited. I love the collection aspect. That is my favorite thing, probably, the collection.
Totally. And Grand Cross has so many different characters from collabs, and this goes with this one, and all across the board. I just think that the Grand Cross has the best game system that keeps me coming back with the different cards and RNG, and there's other games out there that will make it so that you have to wait for your attack and it kind of becomes monotonous. And there was a game called Crossing Void that mixed a bunch of different IPs, like they all got isekai'd into the same realm, but it never had that same what's the word for it, same stakes, I guess would be the best way to say it. You play one card and you're like really hoping for the next card, and you may not get it, but the PvP aspect of things is by far the best out of any mobile game, and some actual just regular games, in my opinion. It's just the stakes are always up there. It doesn't matter if you're going against a bot or another person, really. And that's what I absolutely love about this game too, is it keeps me coming back for more. And I mean, there is a grind to it, and there's things that I wish were changed, but as a whole, like, best mobile game that I've ever played and want to continue playing.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because when you asked me what my favorite part of the game was just now, like, there is a lot, and I mean a lot of answers that are coming in my head. I think we can like dedicate an entire episode of Between Two Mics to just that question itself, because like you listed, the collaborations, the interaction with characters from different IPs, as well as the PvP. Grand Cross is just ahead of a lot of other like gacha games when it comes to that, because the way they do things, even though sometimes they do it quite poorly or not as good as they did before, it's still at a level where if I play another game, for instance, I compare it to Grand Cross and it's like, oh, Grand Cross, for example, has this thing going on for it in PvP, and I think this is better. Like, I can play using some of my favorite characters, like I'm talking about off-meta characters specifically, still in PvP, like for example, okay, like
solo leveling. Sun Jinwoo has kind of had a resurgence in some things, and if he keeps scaling and come out the next collab, rerun, like, he can be a threat as well again.
Yeah, it does. And when I was playing Top 100 just this past week or two, I did run into a Jinwoo player, a real player using Jinwoo with the Gachi Akuto collaboration units, and I was using Meliodas, so I was kind of cocky, and I decided to like fool around a bit, and he got the better of me still. And Jinwoo is about a year old, so yeah.
Yeah, you really can't underestimate anything. Like, if you get that real player and they have a strange comp, like, you're always leery on it because you haven't seen it, and you can definitely take an L from it. All right, switching up gears a little bit here. You were the guild leader for the #1 guild in Global for a little while there. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you are the current member in the #1 guild for JP. Is there a strategy difference in the two, or a meta change, or is everything pretty much the same? And which one, in your opinion, is better?
Yeah, you would be correct about both the points. I did lead the #1 guild on Global for a good amount of time, I'd say, and I was very joyful that you were part of it as well. And I am currently a part of the #1 JP guild, and the difference, I'd say, it's a big difference in a lot of areas, because well, firstly, we have the language barrier between JP and Global, right? Like, I'm not a person who is able to speak Japanese, so a lot of communication is done through Google Translate, or even just screenshots and a simple nod, like, oh, they send me a screenshot, and I'm like, okay, I got you. But with Global, I can actually interact with my members, for example, and I find that to be the best experience, and I find that interaction to be more than enough of a justification to either join or even possibly lead a guild if you're passionate about it, because just being in the voice chat, having a laugh with the members, both laughing and arguing, honestly, because even then we are united for the sake of just having fun. Some guilds are more driven towards competitiveness, some guilds are more casual. But I definitely say the interaction between members is the best thing when it comes to the guild, and the biggest difference between both versions. Strategy-wise, though, I would definitely say the Japanese have a huge lead on that because gaming is a large part of their culture and they do dedicate a lot, and I mean a lot of time towards making those games and strategies. And yeah, when it comes to
Did,
yeah, what's up?
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was just thinking about the tournaments that we used to have, and in the tournament, I know that Global ended up winning over JP and KR, I think 2 times in a row. So does that mean that Global's strategy might be a little bit better at that point then?
I definitely agree. Yeah. I was more focused on the Guild Wars aspect because that is my favorite game mode and one of the first things that come in my mind when competitive play is brought up. But yeah, tournament-wise, we obviously saw Gon dominate the tournament 2 years ago, I believe. Whenever that green Escanor dropped, it was an amazing performance by him, and he
Yeah, because he
proved
was
why
back to
Global
back,
was.
right?
Yeah, he was. He definitely proved that Global was the better player during that PvP tournament. So,
Now,
in
were
that
you
aspect,
friends with the JP players in those tournaments then? Like, did you have a hand in any of that or help out with any of that?
okay. So, yeah, the two of the members who participated, was there a tournament last year? I think there was, yeah.
That's what I was trying to remember. I feel like we haven't had one in a minute.
We didn't have one this year, but I do think we had one last year. Two of my former guildmates did participate in that tournament, surprisingly. Two of my guildmates. And no, I personally didn't have any hand, or nor did I assist them in any way when it came to their playstyle or team making. It was all them. And when I watched the tournament, I definitely think they could have done better plays, but that is just as my opinion as a viewer. When you actually get into that mindset of playing the match in real time, a lot of thinking and hesitation does come to mind, as I'm sure you know.
Oh, of course.
Because when we play top 100 PvP, sometimes we're like, oh, is this the right play? Do I do this? A lot of hesitation, a lot of resetting the cards. It's a mindset that, when you're experiencing it, it causes a lot of doubt and hesitation. But as a viewer, you'd be able to see the right play or the best play at your own pace.
Oh yeah,
that makes sense.
It's always easier to coach from the sideline and say you should have done this, you should have done that, but being the one actually in the middle of it, there's tons of thoughts going through your head, and sometimes the players, including myself, will literally just risk it for the biscuit, and they're like, hopefully I draw this card next, hopefully the RNG is on my side, and if I just have this one card, it's over. I gotta position myself this way, and then you don't get the card, and then you look like an idiot sometimes. But that's just how it goes.
Yeah, it's a factor you can't really control, and there are also factors when actually being in that match that add a lot of weight into the decision making. Because I'm sure players from both JP, Global, and even Korea felt that weight with every card they used during those matches. So it's definitely a a tough position to be in, especially representing an entire server. But yeah, Global definitely has had JP beat on that, and again, you gotta give credit where it's due.
Yeah, I mean, credit to all of the servers. You know, obviously we're all playing the same game, just in different ways. But it is interesting to hear, you know, how they're doing that kind of strategies and how they're coming up with different comps and all of that. I kind of want to wrap up two questions into one. I think that makes more sense.
Yeah.
You know, you used to be global and you were talking about it's a lot easier to communicate on the global side of things. Why did you end up leaving global and dedicating to JP? Does that have something to do with you wanting to actually start streaming, and most of the streamers have JP accounts so you could sync up a little bit better with them? Was it I think the currency for JP is a little bit cheaper as well, and or that might be just you've had that account longer? And would you ever consider returning back to global?
Okay. So to answer that, I did take a giant break from global for a good period of time from the competitive play mainly. I do have a small global account on the side, which I'm currently playing on. And one of the bigger reasons that I left global was definitely because I was simply burnt out from all the grind crossing I've been doing. Because I used JP is my main account. I started with that account, so my heart and soul belongs to that account forever, as I'm sure like people can relate to their own accounts. And having that secondary account, it's just not as easy to keep up with two accounts as it is with one account. And I myself am a perfectionist, okay? I like to summon on every banner. I like to get the minimum dupes if possible. So I did used to like wail on JP on top of getting a unit 6/6 on JP. I also used to like get the minimum dupe on global, and that did rack up costs quite a lot, I'd say. And the account aside, I just felt burnt out. It's not due to the environment or the players. I just felt super burnt out from leading a guild. And a guild is like a person's project, you know? Like, if I'm gonna disband my guild, I want to make it so like this guild begins and ends with me. It personally just didn't feel right with me to have somebody else lead a guild that I made. It might be a selfish thing, which I completely agree with, but I don't know. I just couldn't help myself to see somebody else lead my guild, because if I do, it's just gonna make me want to come back.
Sure.
And I was already in a space where I was constantly just staying up, preparing our attacks and doing the attacks with members. So it was a lot. It was a lot. So I definitely felt overrun because of that.
For sure. I mean, that's completely understandable. I mean, that's maybe to some people that don't participate in high-end guild wars, maybe it's not something that they can really relate to. But yeah, in guild wars, you're timed, and some people have lives and can't always be there for an attack, or we might need a specific team that they have and they're not there, and sometimes you have to just help out where you can. But
exactly, yeah.
I guess that kind of leads into the next question, really. How do you feel about the current state of Guild Wars? I don't think a lot of YouTubers and stuff like that actually talk about Guild Wars, because it is kind of for that, I'm going to say, top 4-5% of players that are either involved with it or they want to be involved with it. It's not the biggest part of the game for a lot of people. But for those people that are a part of it, it's literally the game for them.
Exactly, yeah.
So I guess they've gone ahead and done some changes and everything to try to make it more competitive, so the higher end guilds aren't just 9K'ing each other. How do you feel they're doing with that, and is there any changes you would like to see from it?
Yeah, definitely, because one other point I also wanted to add to that question prior, which also kind of gives an answer to this question, was during my time as a leader last year, we were at a point in Guild Wars where 9K was like very, very common and very doable. Of course, with some tricks and techniques and different setups, we were able to thankfully stop it a handful of times. But one of the biggest things I hated doing during my time as a guild leader was telling my members, for example, oh, we need this unit 3/6 or 4/6, because I don't enjoy asking my members to like wail on the game or spend if they don't want to, because I like to see it from their perspective, and it is definitely something. I don't know what the correct term for it is.
Well,
but
I mean, to be fair, everybody's wallet is different. They could be in
exactly
a financial issue where they can't wail
exactly
out.
yeah
There's things that come up. We all have
exactly
lives.
yeah exactly yeah, and I don't want to put winning as my goal so much as having fun and enjoying my time with my members. Like, that's my priority. But the recent changes in Guild Wars have been pretty good, I'd say. More and more updates have been coming out in regards to buffing certain towers and getting more buffs, as we've seen in the patch notes. It's definitely in a better place right now compared to last year, because we were able to stop 9K twice last season on JP, and we just went with our own thing for the third war, just for fun, really. But Guild Wars is definitely slowly improving and getting back to what it used to be, which was strategies and not just, putting Nemesis Meliodas or the Fairy team on attack and defeating everybody with one team.
Or Escalade.
So that is, or Eska Merlin, that is definitely a very, very good change they did, and I'm happy that they finally acknowledged that the 9K thing is starting to become an issue, especially for Wales who, 6/6 units to have a slight edge, but then lose to like units who are 1/6, because there was at a certain point where dupes kind of don't matter as much because of how broken the unit is. Like, Subaru Beatrice is a good example of this, because they are a fantastic unit, as we've seen in Guild Wars, both in your end and my end. But yeah, I think I blabbed on a bit too much about this question. I could talk about this all day.
No, actually, you bring up a good point. I mean, this wasn't on our questionnaire list, but given the state of the game, I mean, I almost feel like most people are a bit tired of being so dupe reliant. I mean, we went off of banner after banner, then the collab, and the collab needed basically all of the characters to be 3/6 or 4/6 to be usable. I mean, you could use them otherwise, but like to be competitively usable, you had to have at least 4/6. And now we have a dual banner now, and you basically can't use those units if they're 1/6. You might be able to use them at 2/6, but realistically, to be competitive, you have to have them 4/6. So it seems like they're going back to, you have to have dupes to be able to use characters, and it's taxing on the regular player, I feel like. And what do you think that they can do if Netmarble is listening to this podcast interview? What can they do to help relieve some of this for them?
Well, that is a fantastic question, and we have two things that we need to address when it comes to this. First is getting the unit itself, which a lot of free-to-play players or casual players struggle to do as is, because recently the banners, we've gotten Esker Merlin this year, and then a collaboration directly after. Then we got a festival, which was Salos, and then we got a seasonal Light King, which was fantastic, and then a ReZero rerun, which was a giant fairy buff. It was the best thing that could have happened to fairies.
Well, in Guild Wars, that one kind of broke Guild Wars for a minute, and it's still kind of a problem.
Exactly that, and it kind of made PvP unplayable. But to get back to the question, right after ReZero, we got Nemesis Meliodas, and then a collaboration after that. And now we have a seasonal banner with 2 featured units. So if I could address one thing, it's definitely the timing of the banners. I think we should definitely have some casual releases that aren't so... like for example, the Thonar we got was a good release in my opinion, because a lot of players skipped that. They saved some gems for this banner, because we definitely need a bit of a gap to save some gems, because right after this I'm gonna be guessing that we're getting a festival. Okay,
yeah.
So a way that something Netmarble is currently doing is the extra tickets they give out on the mileage. If you saw the banner, at the 150th and 450th mileage, we get an extra 10 tickets. And that applies for all rotations, not just the first one. So I definitely think Netmarble should attempt to kind of stick with that format, because at the very least, players can do a few pulls and have a bit of help. Obviously, more help is welcome. Definitely more welcome, because again, getting the unit is an issue, and then getting a unit at a certain dupe level is a whole separate issue, right?
For sure.
It's like, okay, I got my new Meliodas, I got my new Bond, that's awesome. But now I need them at 2-6 to get their secondary passive unlock. Like with Melee, they nerfed Melee on the day of his release. We no longer have the taunt after using 2 skills. That is locked behind 2-6, which definitely hurt the unit's quality a lot, right?
Yeah.
And it's one thing when it's a seasonal unit. It's a whole other thing if it's a festival unit, if it's a collaboration unit especially. Because, seasonals and festivals do indeed have reruns, but collaborations, man. If you don't have, say, for example, a 2-6 Jinwoo, then your Jinwoo is not going to be used, because Jinwoo needs a 2-6 to actually be usable and have his damage cap and all that.
Well, and a whole other. I think it has to be 4-6, correct? I mean, to actually be competitive with him.
Yeah, like at 2-6 you could have him be usable. At 4-6, you're basically using a different unit at that point. Like it's a giant difference.
So
and Netmarble,
sorry, not to interrupt, but going back to the point of the Thonar that you mentioned, I think that one of the things that might help a lot of players pull on more of these units and really get to the units that they want to get to or save. We don't have a ton of step-up banners. I mean, we have what was the last one? We had, was it Chandler?
Chandler, I think, yeah.
And that
Chandler
was the only one we've had in, if I'm remembering correct, 6 or 8 months? Somewhere around there?
Yeah,
we generally don't get those.
I think Mono was a step up, but she released in like January or something.
Yeah, so
yeah,
for a
big time
unit like
difference.
Thonar or like a demonic beast unit or something along those lines, where that's specifically where they're going to be is the PvE side of things. I think that those, instead of being 600 banners, should start being step-up banners. This way, free-to-plays and casual players can get those units to grind the materials that they need, but it doesn't put as much of a burden on the rest of the players that are looking for PvP or looking for Guild Wars units, that they can actually start investing more into those units specifically.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because in the case of, let's say, Green Chandler, who was the most recent step up, Chandler is a fantastic support and a very big help for the Demon team. Even though, what's it called? Well, we have a good amount of Demon backlines, it is good to see that a unit like Chandler was at an affordable unit to obtain, because step-up banners are pretty easy to finish up.
Yeah.
200 gems isn't that much, and for a quality unit like Chandler, let's say, it's you can pretty much justify it. But on my global, just recently, I went the full rotation to get my Thonar, because I was unlucky, unfortunately. And I just don't feel like that unit is worth the 600 gems, because when you pull on a unit that's like Thonar, a 600 gem filler banner essentially, you're either going in all the way or you're stopping yourself from pulling, because you want to get your gems worth, right?
Yeah.
So that is definitely something that Netmarble can take into account. They did. I still remember this because I didn't get this unit during their release. When Festival Cusack came out, they did give out one free dupe of him.
Yeah, and that was in compensation because it was coming out too quick, wasn't it?
I don't really remember the context behind that, but yeah, we did have a double festival banner at the time, which was something they were trying out. But even so, I don't think it would hurt Netmarble so much to give a free dupe of the unit if you happen to like acquire them, because it would definitely motivate players to like continue pulling. I mean, either that, or at the very least, the player can use a unit like for example, Esker Merlin 1/6, they're not usable because they don't have their ultimate. They don't have their buff at 1/6. They get their buff at 2/6,
right?
Which is the Flame of Obliteration, right?
Yeah.
So at the very least now, in the age where dupes not only account for ult damage but for passives as well, giving a free dupe isn't all that bad, in my opinion. At the very not to spoil us every banner, of course, but like for festivals or seasonals or even collaborations, for example.
Sure.
I don't think it would be a bad thing.
Another thing that might even be a good idea, like you said, it maybe not for every single one, but some of these PvE units and stuff like that, do a mission set or something along those lines where you can acquire one copy of it. And in those cases, I could even see them being like, okay, well, the 1/6 doesn't get the full passive. If you want the full passive, you have to go ahead and pull in the banner. And that's okay, because a lot of players and stuff like that are actually don't even want the character in the first place. They want the box CC for having the character. So in some of these scenarios where you get the one character there, you get the box CC, but you don't get the full passive, I think that could also work out in people's favor.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that point. And one thing Netmarble just did, which I'm very appreciative of, is the LR Tyson.
Yeah, fantastic unit.
Who would have expected that an R unit would have the same quality passive of a unit like Zanka or Easton or Sigurd, right?
Yeah.
So one thing that Marvel could do for these PvE units is make it so that past units, SRs or Rs or even like some old SSRs like LR Liz for example, I think by making some, not all, of the older units a LR that helps with PvP isn't the worst thing, because we got LR Guilt under Hauser and Griamore, but they're not usable. Their passives really haven't changed all that much, and
They really didn't
They
get
could have-
a big buff.
exactly, they could have done something special with them. Like Guild Thunder could have been a bird unit, or Griamore could have been a floor 4 deer unit. I'm just
Yeah.
spitting out ideas, but by making it so these PvE characters are at least affordable, it does help players knowing that there is a secondary option if the premium character is not within their gem budget. You know what I mean?
For sure. I am nervous and excited to see what they'll end up doing with Twiggo, because that man
Oh, yeah.
was a menace when it was perk bond and everything, that whole meta. But if they still
yeah.
do something with the HP and instead of it being red, it's to everybody, can you imagine that with the fairies and HP scalers? Like, that would change a lot of things.
Yeah, definitely. They could really make LR Twiggo a god.
Really?
Twigod, as people call them.
Yep, he would get the
Because
official name.
yeah, he would. They could make him like a dedicated HP support for all types, or just human like Taizu. Or whatever they're gonna do, Twiggo will be good, regardless. He's beloved by all.
And this is something that I think when I've brought up in other Discord servers and stuff like that, I got pushback for. But I really do think that they should actually reinvest in making some R and SR characters. We have the 4 Koa coming up and everything. Not every single one of those 4 Koa characters necessarily have to be an SSR or a UR character. I feel like some of those could be just R and SR characters, but it would make pulls on the banner feel more interesting if you're pulling for some of those and you can actually start getting the box level up and some more, I guess, units that aren't in your normal box, just to feel a little bit better on pulling.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening, because as a guy who keeps up with the format of the Apocalypse manga, there are definitely a lot of characters that can be included as SRs, for example. And one other thing, interesting that you brought this up, because if you recall, when Lost Vein first came out, he was paired up with Frangel, right?
Yeah.
So they followed that format for a good amount of time until they stopped it, which was the festival gets a second unit on their banner, and that second unit can be obtained for free through missions. We had that with Fraudren and Demon Hendrickson as well. That is a format that they could bring back, not for every banner, because making units does take, time and resources and all that. But for major celebrations like 7th anniversary or New Year's maybe, they could do something like that. Like they could, for example, with God willing, a new Chaos Arthur could be released with a what was the faction called again? I forgot. The group Pelagon is in, basically.
Well, even Kath would be kind of cool.
Even Kath, like whatever festival they'll be releasing during a major celebration, could have a side unit that can be obtained for free. That is something that would definitely be appreciated by the players, because it is a new unit, and for others who see it as, a boxy unit, they'll be happy, and for players who like to see their characters shine, that would definitely be a good thing.
Yeah.
And nobody's gonna say no to a new character, right? Like who's gonna refuse that? So
Yeah, to an extent, right? I mean, we're
yeah,
seeing the another Bond and another Melly, and these guys are, you have to dupe out and everything. That I don't think that we necessarily need a SSR dual banner to put more strain on people, but maybe throwing those SRs and Rs into the mix isn't going to be the worst case scenario or put any burden on anything. Going into the next question, I guess I have a few here. What made you start your YouTube career, and at what point were you thinking that you wanted to do this? And then obviously, since you are a YouTuber now and you've done account reviews and stuff like that, what do you see as the biggest mistakes that new players or players in general make when trying to improve into the game?
okay. Let me take a quick workshop in my head real quick.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a multi-question question.
Exactly. To answer the first question, though, I started this channel of mine with the intention to mainly help players out. I am a content creator that tries to make content from all the areas that the game has. That includes Guild Wars, PvE, PvP, account reviews, and guides and etc. Because it does feel like the content creator community in Grand Cross is kind of going downhill. Not to say that the guys are doing a bad job. Everybody's doing a terrific job, and we have commitments and all that. But the game definitely went downhill content creation wise because of the departure of Nag, Seaton, Speedy, and others who have left.
For sure. Yeah, it does seem like more people are joining in, like yourself too, which is very good to see.
Yeah, it's very, very good to see. It's amazing to see. And I made this channel so that the players, like the people in class who have a dumb question that they're shy to ask in the back, can just pop up on my channel, for example, and see their question be filled. Like, oh, for example, LR Subaru is an HP scaler unit. There might be a guy who's gonna ask, oh, should I give them attack? Or a guy who already gave them attack, and they don't know that it's a wrong gear set to give. So when they visit, for example, my channel or any other content creator's channel, I want that person to have an answer to their question without getting chewed out on, because we do have people in the community who are super aggressive and perfectionists when it comes to characters. Like if I were to meet a player who is doing something wrong, I don't want to chew them out for it. Like when I do account reviews, every time I do an account review, I always mention not to insult the player in any way possible if they come to meet them, because again, this is a game. It's a way to relieve stress. It's not a way for people to just insult each other or tease each other based on what the other person is deciding to do. I just want to help out in any way I can. That's the entire purpose of my channel, and as well as providing content. Yeah, definitely.
And I love that you always say that in your videos for account reviews, because you're absolutely right. I mean, there are, obviously, it's a competitive game. There's going to be people's egos and stuff like that. But there has to be some safe spots for new players or casual players, or even some whales that could be humbled by some of the critiques and stuff like that you offer. And maybe somebody went ahead and said, yeah, he's a HP scaler, but they just threw a bunch of SR gear from the like upgraded
Yeah,
ones and stuff like that and have wrong rolls, right? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
it can be simple like that. And this is just me interjecting a little bit more, but there's a lot of times that players will put those SSRs onto their units without rolling it, and they could have went ahead and gone with something like R roll gear that's
Yeah,
actually better than just putting a crappy rolled SSR gear on there. A lot of people don't know that.
definitely. And I myself, when it comes to gacha games, have always had a difficult time with figuring out the equipment slash gear system that they have in place. For example, games like Genshin, Wuthering Waves, and even Seven Deadly Sins Origins, I did have a tough time adjusting to those games and their gear mechanics. So I definitely want to help the players out in this game because I happen to like try everything on a unit when they come out. So being able to give them a good long-term answer to their question on how to like gear a unit, for example, is a good thing. It's a good thing, and if it helps the player in any way, then I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with it.
For sure. This is kind of a funny correlation with it, but you almost are you remember back in the day when we had like Pokemon and like Red and Blue and stuff like that, and you would get a Game Informer that would tell you what the best spots are and where the Pokemon are and all of the stats on everything. Like essentially you're the Game Informer for this game.
No, yeah. I mean, I definitely try my best with what I know. Even if there are some people who argue that my answer to some questions aren't entirely correct. You know, that's their opinion, and I can't say anything about that. But I definitely want to be of use to players who have questions and answer them to the best of my ability in a way that they won't regret taking the answer I give them.
Yeah. No.
As yeah, like a lot of units, especially units at 1/6, happen to do way better with HP because if a unit is 1/6 and doesn't have any cosmetics, then that unit's performance differs heavily in comparison to a 6/6 Nemesis Meliodas with attack crit damage. It's a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah, and if that person isn't up to date on literally almost daily of what happened in the game like we are, they just won't know unless they ask.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Kind of okay, so I guess as far as, since obviously you've been in multiple guilds, you have led multiple guilds, you help people better their accounts and their boxes and stuff like that. This is kind of a two-piece question. I'm going to smash them together here. What do you look for when you're picking guildmates? Is it specific units that are needed? Is it that they're willing to go above and beyond to put together stuff for upcoming wars? And how can you help free-to-play players find or get into higher guilds to actually participate in guild wars?
Okay, you ask a excellent question, my friend, because during my time as a guild leader, there were a lot of players that I accepted, a lot of players who I had to turn down, and it is a difficult thing to do, to turn a person down or to even kick a person because of them lacking units, for example. Now, having characters is definitely important, and the first thing any guild leader will ask you when you apply for a Guild Wars guild is what characters are you missing and what oath levels do you have on this character and that character. It definitely comes down to your account quality because people will first look at you for your account before they look at you as a person when it comes to applying to guilds, and that is something we all do, right? But when you accept a player, uh, generally nowadays, I'm helping out with a small guild, not too much involvement from my end, but just as a sort of person that they can come to and ask for questions. Having a player with the drive to improve and showing up constantly, in my opinion, definitely has more of a priority for me than missing some units, especially because, well, brackets also definitely take a heavy factor in this. Competitive guilds, especially those in the higher ups like Challenger and Champion, those guilds will take you for your account. They won't take you for the person you are, at first, at the very least. For people who want to get in and experience Guild Wars, then you should definitely be ready to accept that you're aiming low. Like you're going to start out in a silver, maybe gold guild, and you will slowly get a taste for whether or not Guild Wars is the game mode for you, because it does consume a lot of resources, and most importantly, it does consume a lot of time for the leaders. So leaders have to dedicate more time to players who are missing, let's say, Gojo Ban. A unit that many people are missing is Gojo Ban. They have to come up with alternative solutions for those players, which does take up time. So,
And that is
there are a lot
definitely
of
a staple unit for sure.
exactly, and there are a lot of factors to it. There are a lot of factors to it, but if I could give any advice, do your best. Do not be pressured into pulling for duplicates if you cannot, and people will recognize you eventually for the amount of commitment you put into improving than the missing units that you have. Because I definitely had people with good accounts that I had to unfortunately remove due to like behavior or them not being as committed to the guild. And I kept some players with lesser accounts or players with a lot of missing units over those people because of that. Because they are trying to improve. They're doing their part, is what I'm saying.
So, and
So yeah,
when I see like guild recruitments and stuff like that on like the main 7DS Discord and stuff like that, most of them are saying that you need to have a minimum of 12 million box or something like that, right?
yeah.
Now, there are definitely people's, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it kind of sounds like you're saying that the units are more important than having that 12 million box. Is that correct? So like if I'm like 10 million, but I have all of the units, maybe I just don't have gear on my entire box, but the key units for the guild I have and are geared. Do guild leaders actually start like asking those questions, or is that something that's just like, well, you don't even meet the box requirement, come back when you meet box requirement?
Yeah, that is a powerful question. And to answer that, if you are a 10 mil player and you have, let's say, every unit in the game, for example, but your gear isn't necessarily perfect and there are a lot of missing characters still, guild leaders still might not take you in because gear and investment towards units is still an important thing. And not only that, but constellation. Definitely the biggest wall between some players. Because I mean, we've seen the constellation difference in PvP, and it does get players frustrated. So imagine if you're playing Guild Wars and you happen to like a 10 mil is Constellation 4 probably,
somewhere around there.
and you're going to be facing players with Constellation 6 or higher regularly. So guild leaders in return need to find players of that level. So it is by no means a shot at you or your account. It is also a way for guild leaders to kind of protect these people in a way, because it can definitely be demotivating to see all that work you put in towards your account and seeing it getting obliterated easily. It can definitely be demotivating, in my opinion, and it would hurt the player's morale to improve.
Well, and
In my case, sorry for interrupting.
no.
I was initially shot down when I first applied to my guild on JP, and that was because of my box and missing equipment. But that actually motivated me to meet the standard that these leaders are looking for, because in the end, you don't want to dedicate a lot of hours to this game because of, real life commitments. So you need to, as a leader, be able to say no. You need to be able to say no.
Yeah, and I guess the other side of like why guild leaders also ask for your box CC is it also shows somewhat of a commitment that you're dedicated to actually grinding out the hours and stuff like that to get the units, upgraded, to put time and effort into the game. That's where I think a lot of the box CC requirements come into. Again, going back to your point, the units are more crucial, but box CC shows your commitment to the game, essentially.
It does. And keeping up with box CC, especially for players in that 13-15 mil range. My global account is 14 mil currently, and it is in a small Guild Wars guild, but I do feel like the commitment is something that must be fulfilled, and resources are very scarce still for players in that box CC range. You're constantly using engraving stones, you're constantly using SA coins, you're constantly doing true awakenings, and that does eat up a lot of resources.
I mean, SA coins and true awakening coins, I am still struggling, and I'm 24 mil.
Yeah, exactly.
LR coins, those are the big things that I'm kind of struggling with to even get to the next constellation, even up in the higher stuff like I am.
Exactly. Yeah.
So do you think that there would be a purpose for Netmarble to potentially even create another tier of Guild Wars to potentially get some more people involved and try to get them acclimated, I guess, to Guild Wars?
There are definitely some things they could do for that, yes. Hero Arenas aside, which is already a game mode that follows the Guild Wars format of 4v4, is a good start for that, I'd say. But they could definitely introduce something like a ungeared Guild Wars that could sort of even the playing field, if even a bit, because the difference that the gear / equipment makes is a lot, and there are players who are crazy with equipment, like maximum base stat equipment at 15%. Now I personally just get the equipment to 15% and aim for that 97-98th percentile, but yeah, equipment does make a lot of difference. A game mode of Guild Wars without gear could potentially serve as a good start for players who want to have a taste for Guild Wars without, draining their resources so much.
Yeah.
Because anvils and hammers and engraving stones are a resource that everybody needs still.
Yeah, it's taxing. You have to do a lot of material management to continue getting your account up.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
So we're getting down to the end of this between two mics. Haven't had too much. I enjoy listening to my person on the other end, giving their feedback, giving a voice to the community. But do you have any questions for me? Maybe I think ending it with maybe 2 or 3 questions that you might have towards me would be a good idea.
Oh yeah, definitely. First of all, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Been a big pleasure. And my questions for you, I might have 2 here. Well, the first one is, as a content creator, what do you want to be known for? I know you addressed this in your first video, but down the line, where do you see yourself and how do you want to be viewed by the community? And my second question is, why did you begin this channel to begin with? What sort of pushed you into making this? Because you did mention making this in our DMs a few times, and something eventually pushed you to make that. So I'd love to know what that is.
Yeah, thank you for the questions. So as far as let's start off with, I started this whole thing because I saw how dedicated and how much you grew from doing your channel, and I kind of came up with the idea one day, and like you said in DMs, like, what's something in this field that no one's really talking about or doing? There are a lot of channels that could be the same, you know what I mean? Like Nagato, Speedy, back in the day, they were using, I think, the same account at one point and making videos off of the same one. But if you watched one video, you kind of watched the other in a lot of senses across the board. Now, I think it's kind of diversified a bit since then, but so I think it's in a good scope of the YouTube range there. But I haven't seen anybody actually talk with individuals and get their opinions from the community and try to get this addressed with Netmarble. I kind of want this to be something where Netmarble can look at these videos and say, okay, this is what the community's feeling, and it's not just some keyboard warrior saying, oh, the game sucks because I didn't get the unit. I want to come up with real answers to real questions, and I don't think that there's any better people than to ask and to get the what's the right word, ideas from then the community itself, especially these high end players or players that have been playing since day one or even sooner if you were on JP. I think that they have probably the best finger on the pulse to know what is working and what's not working, and for Netmarble to kind of take that into consideration.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, and I appreciate the answer you gave me because there are definitely a lot of players that complain about the game for reasons like the one you just mentioned. I didn't get the unit. Like that reason right there is the most common one. Not getting the unit isn't the end of the game, right? There are definitely deeper concerns like the duper-reliant units, for example, the banner rates, and players needing a bit more help with being able to pull/build units. So I definitely appreciate that you're trying to make a platform/channel that addresses that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and a lot of this also stems from, I had an old boss when I worked in sales, and side note here, basically anytime that I came to him with a concern or something along those lines, he basically would not acknowledge me, and until one day he finally said, look, the reason why I've been ignoring you is because you come to me with a problem, but you haven't come to me with an actual answer on how to fix said problem. You've come up with complaints about the complaints. That's what I want to address here in these between two mics. I want there to be the concern and the complaint, but I also want to bring to the table, okay, well, here's the complaint, here's a solution. Here's how we could potentially fix this if Netmarble is actually listening.
Yeah, that's honestly such a amazing and insightful response from your boss, because what he said, like, my initial reaction was, okay, I mean, you do have concerns, but they weren't, he didn't like address them. But when he told you that you came with concerns but not solutions, that is definitely a thing that just opened my mind up, you know, because
it can go with anything, right? It's actually strong.
Right. And again, we as players do have a lot of concerns, but we aren't coming up with realistic solutions. Like the rate issue, for example. We can't just ask Netmarble to make every banner have a 7% SSR rate like the Nemesis Meliodas banner.
That would be absurd.
We need to, yeah, exactly. We need to try to find a middle ground, and that's why in an earlier question I was appreciative about the tickets they're giving out throughout the banner mileage in this banner and in the Gachi Akuta banner. But yeah, it's a good stepping stone, and I hope that they, do that for every rotation and not just the first one like they did with Gachi Akuta. But they clearly learned from that, so that's good.
Yeah, and I don't think that Netmarble has ever. Let me rephrase that. I think that Netmarble has done a very good job of listening to the community on things. If there's something that really upsets the community and they have come with a solution for that, I think that they have stepped up as a company at producing this game to help the community. I just want this to be one more stepping stone for them to see any issues that they may not have even noticed, since there's 3 servers, and put a voice to it and a solution that's realistic instead of prime example. I think in this last update they changed some of the verbiage. I think Gogo was actually explaining it. 4 hours before, they turned it from Melly had the taunt on 1.6, and at 2.6 now, when he actually released, he gets the taunt. And people are already saying, well, free banner, they should give us 600 gems, blah, 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 blah. That's not realistic, right? Something that they could do. We're sorry, it's been a little bit, we haven't really addressed it. How about a free copy of Melly? That would get everybody to be very happy with it. They got a free copy. If they didn't get it, if they got it, then they got the 2.6. I think all is well. Yeah,
that wouldn't be the worst thing. Exactly. I mean, it's either that or they make the Melly as he was before with having the taunt. But in a case with like 2 banner units, I don't think giving out 1 banner unit is necessarily bad every now and then. But that's just my opinion.
Sure.
This game definitely can push out a good amount of time still. I mean, we've seen a game like Dokkan, for example, reach its 11th year anniversary, and Grand Cross isn't like too far behind. We're on our 7th, and with every new gacha game that came out, whether that's Black Clover or My Hero Academia, the so-called Grand Cross killers, people always were like, oh, Grand Cross is done for, but I mean, here we are, and the Grand Cross killers have been shut down. So I do hope Netmarble continues to preserve this game, because it is special. It is special to us.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And with that, I think we've probably yapped long enough, right? So we're gonna wrap it up there. I appreciate everybody staying tuned, and thank you for the support. Ainz, I really appreciate you coming on and talking with me, and I'd love to have you back on at some point.
My pleasure, man. And yeah, I'll always answer your calls should you call on me. Don't worry about it.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Adios.